As we age, all these factors, overeating, lack of exercise, the stress, the bad decisions we make, the lack of care we give to ourselves, the lack of time we give to our body, all these lead to what is currently called lifestyle diseases. Yes, they are lifestyle diseases, but for a young person, let's say in his 20s, the same lifestyle habits do not lead to aging. So, today we'll try to understand in very basic terms what causes aging and the diseases along with it. Please remember, I'm not talking to scientists, so I will speak it in simple terms. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them. I will answer them in our next lecture series. List of these lifestyle diseases, if you go over them, you'll see they cover almost the entire body, beginning with just graying of your hair, with the aging of your skin, the reduced eyesight, reduced sense of smell, the reduced hearing power. These are just some superficial things. These are not communicable diseases. You cannot cause them just by your lifestyle problems. But yes, there are others like heart disease, hypertension, chronic kidney disease, liver disorders, immunological disorders, metabolic disorders like diabetes mellitus, thyroid problem, growth hormone deficiency, testosterone deficiency. The range goes on and on. And all of them are put together in lifestyle diseases. So if they are lifestyle diseases, we have to modify our lifestyle so as not to grow old, diseased, frail. How do we do them? That is the anti-aging medicine. I'm not going to give you a set of exercises only or something about what you should eat, but a complete scientific laid out program to help you control the inner biosphere of your body, what I also sometimes call as the endosphere, that is inside our body. The complete environment inside our body has to be monitored, and it is not difficult, neither it is very costly. Continuous monitoring or periodic monitoring helps us understand what are the problems which are coming so that we can nip them in the bud. And of course, the good news is it doesn't matter that if you are actually in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, or even 80s. The anti-aging medicines and the strategies which have been tested and tried out have been on senior people, or rather, initially on animals which were not very young. So now let's get down to the first question. What causes aging at a cellular level? Understand this now. At a cellular level, aging is a very simple process. The two things which are essential for our lives are also what causes us to age, and they are oxygen and food. Food is burnt by oxygen to provide energy, and energy is the life source of our body. Just like in a vehicle or any machinery, when you put a fuel and when you burn it and it works, with time, if we do not service it or if you do not provide the necessary raw material required for it, then it will get into trouble and give you problems. Think of your body as that only, a God-given or a nature-given machine, if you will. Now you have to take care of it. The food which we eat has to be full of antioxidants. Should not have too much of the bad items which will clog up our internal working system of the body. When glucose, the breakdown product of the food, reaches our cells through the blood, the mitochondria, that is the powerhouse of the cells. You must have read this in the school biology. The mitochondria burn up the glucose with help of oxygen to provide NAD or energy. That energy is what keeps us young, helps us repair our body, helps us stay young and fit. How do we prevent accumulation of the bad things, accumulation of free radicals, accumulation of things which are toxic to our body? And how do we prevent and how do we feed it with the good things which will keep us fit and healthy? That is my aim. So today I'll keep it short. The first thing which most people ask me, what should I do right now, today, starting today, to get control over my body, to stop my disease processes, to slow down my aging? The first and the foremost advice I'll give you, reduce eating. Unless you are malnourished, unless you are severely sick, we humans eat up a lot more than what we are required to. Our body, each cell of our body has to then use up those excess glucose. That may be fats, protein derived or carbohydrate derived. It has to use up all that glucose, either to store it or to use it in chemical reactions, or if you exercise, then it will be used there. Imagine the body is working overtime because you are eating a lot. So first advice is to eat very less, as it has shown in research, and it's not a recent research, it is a long time research. Eating less helps us. A small thumb rule: if you are following a normal diet, if you have not previously undergone any interventions, is to reduce your calorie intake by 1/3. That is 33%. Of course, this is not for people who are anorexic, who are weak, who have food disorders, who do not have good appetite, who are malnourished, who are undernourished. This is for normal, healthy individuals. If you are going to reduce your calories and you have any underlying problems, please contact me or your doctor or your physician or your dietitian before you start on any diets. The second most important thing you can do is to get rid of stress. Very easy to say. And the one question you will ask me is, why do I need to get rid of stress? And the reason I'll give you is, I want to reduce your oxygen intake and regulate your breathing. So in the next lecture, we'll be talking about how we can actively work on our body to reduce its respiration cycle as well as its cardiac cycle. Means the next level, as you go, you will be reducing your resting heart rate. For that, you will need to learn to check your pulse. Just keep your fingers like this on the inner side, this way, to check your pulse. Of course, nowadays we have the pulse oximeter. You can just put it on your finger and you get your pulse reading. Note down your pulse reading today in a resting phase. That is, lie down on a bed or an easy, calm place. Relax yourself. Don't get into a fighting mode. Don't argue with anyone. Do not put on the TV. Relax. Take deep breath. Empty your mind if possible. And after 5 minutes at least, or maybe 10 minutes if possible, take your pulse rate. If you are using a pulse oximeter, make sure it is of a good quality. Take your pulse rate 3 times and note it down. This will be your starting step towards anti-aging. This will be your resting pulse rate before you started any treatment. Similarly, once you have done the pulse rate, note it down on a diary that will be with you for the rest of the time. Note your respiratory rate. Now this is a bit difficult because the moment you become conscious that you are going to note your respiratory rate, you start breathing more than normal, or try to breathe deep and slow. So, not like this. Maybe tell someone else when you are not aware, you are doing your regular work, no heavy physical exertion. They can just note down how many times you have breathed in 30 seconds or 60 seconds. I'll tell you why it is required in future lectures. So for now, this is your starting point. Welcome to the Amrit Protocol, the anti-aging medicine and regenerative intervention and treatment. Thank you once again. Have a nice day.